articles, and they would have our names in them, and they did not resemble us at all. And they were merciless in their attacks. And they mobilized the Republican Party, they mobilized the entire right-wing echo chamber, and were merciless for a long time. And then guess what? They lost. We now understand that we were led into a war based on lies that were told to us. We now understand that Valerie was not a glorified secretary, that she was in fact a covert officer who was working on ensuring that bad guys didn't get their hands on nuclear weapons. One of the reasons we live in Santa Fe now is because if your job is to mess up somebody else's nuclear weapons program, you want to find out from our nuclear scientists how you go about doing that. And so she used to commute back and forth to Santa Fe, to go to Los Alamos, to talk to the labs, and to talk to them about where in the production chain can we sabotage an element so that either somebody else's, the Iranians or Iraqi nuclear weapons program, doesn't work when they try and, or blows up in their hands rather than in our cities. We weathered the storm. We understood early on that this was all about the history of our time. And the history needed to be written, is always written by the winners. And it was really important that if we were going to succeed in this, in holding our government to account, that we win this fight. It was really important, and I was ready to leave. I was ready to turn around and walk away from this. And every time I had just about enough, I would get a call from somebody like Hillary or Bill Clinton. And they would say, you know, we know what you're going through. Not many other people do, but we know what they're doing. And it is absolutely critical that you stay in the public square and that you continue to fight this, because if you walk away from it, the shape of the public square changes forever. And forever, people will be afraid to come down to the public square and have these fights because the vicious character assassination campaigns that are launched against you personally when their facts don't hold up. And so we did, and the facts are now out there. So let me leave you with this, and then I want to open it up for questions, with this thought that I mentioned earlier. That what you should take away from our experience, and what you should take away from the movie, if you've seen it, and if you haven't, I encourage you to see it, or the books that we've written, is not that we're great people, although I like to think I am. I like to have my life think I am. It is that you can, you should, you must be active in the exercise of your citizenship. It is the only way that a democracy will succeed. You cannot be a couch potato on these political issues. You simply can't. And it doesn't matter where you plug in. It doesn't have to be at the international level or the national security level. It doesn't have to be at the Washington level. It can be in your communities. Valerie is more satisfied today working on education in Santa Fe with the United Way than in most anything she's done the rest of her life. You can have an impact. And you can weather the storm. And you can weather the controversy. But never forget that in a democracy like ours, participation is absolutely critical to continued success. Don't allow these people to make decisions for you. Be part of the process. If you're not, don't be surprised when decisions are made in your name that you don't agree with. If you're not at the table, you're not there. The empty chair strategy of political participation is always unsuccessful. Because there's always somebody who's going to take that chair and they're going to act in your name, and they may well do things that you don't agree with. And the way to deal with that is to get in the arena and make the fight. You can survive, you can thrive. As tough as it was for us, we had the honor, really, of being able to tell our story, not just to the American people, but to the world, both through books and through movie and through lectures like this. So there is an upside to be called everything from traitor to Democrat. That was one of the really nasty things. He must be a Democrat. So let me leave you with that. And thank you once again for having me. I look forward to taking care of you. Extemporaneously for 10 minutes on any subject, leaving the questioner feeling that his question has been answered, but imparting no real information. So I will address questions on anything that Sir Victor Saddam was saying. Yes?
I had a question on the relating to the first Gulf War.
Yeah.
Why was it that America supported Saddam and enabled him to fight Iran, and then all of a sudden they were against him when he started invading Kuwait? And my second question was, did Kuwait ever ask for help, or was it just America saying, okay, we're going to call Kuwait?
Sure. Well, and the second question is, did Kuwait ask for help? The quick answer is yes, absolutely. They asked for help from the very beginning. They moved there, they were able to decamp from Kuwait City down into Saudi Arabia, the ruling family was, and their next step was to call us and say, what can we do? Call the United Nations. With respect to the Iran-Iraq war, the question was, why did we support Saddam? In actual fact, we get accused by each side in that war of having supported the other side. There were lots of reasons for us not to get more involved in it than we did. I think Henry Kissinger said it best, is the two of our enemies are fighting each other, why would we want to get to know that? I think actually in the Iran-Iraq war, and that was before I went to Iraq, so I don't know the ins and outs of the diplomacy on that, but it wasn't terribly effective, whatever it was we were trying to do, if we were trying to do it. We did give, the Iraqis accused us of having given the order of battle to the Iranians, which we did. We shared with them, I think, some information. I'm not exactly sure why or how. And the Iranians, of course, accused us of arming the Iraqis, which I'm not sure we did. Yes, ma'am.
I was wondering if you know why Robert Novak isn't in jail or in front of a firing squad.
Well, Novak's not in jail because he's dead. Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, I think, but I'll say, I understand the question. We just got to, we just lost it. Pardon?
Well, he knowingly published secret information.
Yeah, I think you have to make a very real distinction here on the particular relevance of laws on this, and it's Pat Fitzgerald who looked at all these, the special prosecutor. My view of this has always been, if you believe in the First Amendment, you have to believe in freedom of the press. And so as much as I loathe Novak and despise what he did to my wife and family, I would always stand up for his right to having written what he wrote. The problem is not whether he's criminal. The problem is who leaked the information to him in the first place. And that's where you have to go, it seems to me. And I say this because this is coming up again in the case of WikiLeaks. That you're seeing these attacks on Julian Assange, who may not be a very attractive fellow. But when you start attacking the journalists of the press, or those purveyors of information, rather than those who are providing the information, I think that is the beginning of state control of the media. That's the end of freedom of the press as we know it. And already, I would just say this as an aside, already when I'm overseas, I get better news in Sanaa, Yemen than I get on American television.